Hello, Helena. It's Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area, here for this week's United Way Partner Spotlight with Youth Connections. We've got a crew of people to chat with today. Welcome.
Thank you.
So coming up is Red Ribbon Week. Tell us who you are and what is Red Ribbon Week and how you're participating in that.
Perfect. So I'm Bethany Coe, and I work for Southwest Montana Prevention. My job is pretty much being a middle person for all the different groups in Helena that want to help and promote healthy living, connecting to other groups when they're throwing events. So I'm helping the schools with their high school groups, such as Bruin Peer Performance, or I'm helping teachers and students, just all different ways. And Red Ribbon Week is always October 23rd through the 31st. It's always that last week of October. And it's to raise awareness about drug abuse and to promote a drug-free life and why it's so important to live a drug-free life and a healthy lifestyle.
Great. And so Bruin Peer Performance is doing some activities for that. What do you have coming up?
We are going to elementary schools. So far, that's the people that we have, and just talking about how to live a healthy lifestyle, particularly like doing sports and how to eat healthy. But our club is centered around alcohol awareness and leading a drug-free life. So we give out these bracelets that say like "I pledge to be drug-free," and like pencils and stuff when we're out talking to the kids, and we're just trying to bring awareness to everyone who can, or like everyone, just about alcohol and drugs and stuff. Yeah.
How can the community get involved with that, with peer performance?
Well, they can reach out to their child's teacher if they want us to come and talk to their class, and that would probably be the best way. If we do fundraisers, then come and support us. Yeah, donations would be, that's a really major way, but that's, yeah.
And last time you guys were here, you were talking about having a fundraiser.
Yeah. We did have a fundraiser. It was more so we went to it was like a spring event, and we just played soccer and did cornhole and stuff with little kids. It was, if you want to donate, you can. So we got like $2, but it's like more so we weren't really there for the donations. So
it was more of a friend-raiser.
Yes.
Getting people aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if parents want to work with their kids at home during Red Ribbon Week, what ideas would you give them?
Well, we have a lot of resources on our website, youthconnectionscoalition.org. Talk They Hear You is a huge campaign through SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. And they're never too young to start talking about, not doing drugs, setting the expectation, and then following up if there's consequences, but just really promoting a healthy lifestyle. We know that kids that start drinking before the age of 15 have 5 to 7 times more increased risk of having problems with alcohol later in life. And then marijuana, 1 in 4 kids will become addicted. So it's important that they not get involved until their brains are done growing, which is about 25 or 26.
I think Red Ribbon Week is a unique time where you can really focus on that conversation with your family and maybe make a commitment together of what are ways we can live healthier. If we were struggling with some unhealthy things, but are ways we can do to help each other out. And I think Red Ribbon Week is just a good time to remember to have those conversations. You should have them all the time, but it's a good reminder.
It's also a good time to open up like the conversation about it, and show your kids that it's a safe environment to talk about things like that. And so they're like they can go to you if they have questions or want help with living a healthy lifestyle, or they can like look up to you for anything they need as they're growing up.
And one thing you said was it's never too early. I talk to a lot of parents and they say, well, my child's only in 2nd grade. They aren't learning. They don't know about those things. They don't even know what drugs are. I guarantee you if your child is out in public having conversations with other children, especially children who might have older siblings, they know about it, no matter
Absolutely.
how young they are. And so I try to drive that home with people all the time, is it is never too young to start those conversations because they are talking about it.
Yep. Yeah, you talk to any counselors in town and, you know, there might be fifth graders that are using. And so, yeah, it is never, ever too early to start the conversation. And it doesn't have to be graphic. I mean, you can really talk about, you know, like Ashlyn said, talk about making healthy choices and keeping your brain healthy and, you know, living your best life and reaching your full potential.
And even setting an example too, because a lot of children look up to adults and look up to older kids. So if you're using, they're seeing that. So maybe instead be a good example by, hey, let's have some lemonade instead of alcohol, or hey, let's play soccer, and you know, really point out those positives for them to look up to.
Yeah. So do you have any good safety tips for Halloween coming up and ways to keep people safe and clean? And it's a party day, like there's always
Yeah.
bar
Yep.
Halloween, so
Yep.
how do we find alternatives?
Well, if you're a kid, then always stay where there's lights and people are able to see what's going on. And also be with someone who you can trust, and you know that they will keep you safe, and that's a major thing for when you're younger, when you're going around from house to house. Also stay in a neighborhood that you know a lot of people, so you know that the things that you're getting are safe to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think for little kids, you know, make sure you're with an adult. Make sure you go to a house with the lights on, not lights off. Make sure that they themselves are visible. So whether that's with glow sticks or reflective gear, if you're driving around, make sure you're slowing down. Just all those normal safeties. But then as you get older and maybe you're into the partying or drinking, like you said, I know all the places offer free ride homes with Uber, or they have systems in place where you do not need to drive. So just don't even try, just ask for a ride. There's no excuse to drive and drink.
And just be mindful, with all the edibles, often they look like candy. I mean, a child can't tell the difference between a gummy that has marijuana in it and one that doesn't. So, like Ashlyn said, trick or treat, places that you know, make sure that the candy that they're going to consume is from someplace that you know is safe. Even at school, we've, not here, but I've heard in other places that kids are bringing gummies to school and not knowing that they have marijuana in them, and then kids up in the emergency room. So,
Yeah, my teacher told a story about a kid who accidentally brought weed brownies for his birthday. So,
Oh, gosh.
yeah.
And they were just talking on the radio about the fentanyl issue, and
Yeah.
even the Mexican drug cartel is getting involved in trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
prevent fentanyl coming in because it competes with other drugs, which is not a great thing, but we would love to not have fentanyl in our community.
Right.
And part of that problem is that they're making it look like candy,
Yeah.
and people are using it, and then obviously that is a very dangerous thing because fentanyl is so touchy and how much you can consume before you just die.
absolutely.
Which is, I mean, I know sounds very scary and I don't want to scare people, but it is very serious.
It is very serious.
Yeah.
And ordering anything online, you have no idea where you're getting it. I was just at a training and they were saying that any pills that you buy online have gone through 10 different hands. So they could have been crushed and stuff added and crushed and stuff added and repressed and crushed, and you have absolutely no idea what's in it. So just, you're better off to just not do it.
Not order online.
Not order online, not do drugs. I mean, you don't know what you're getting. You really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we've known that for years with
Right.
a variety of things.
Exactly.
It just seems to get scarier as the years go by.
Yes, it does.
Like,
Yes, it
oh,
does.
it's like maybe I'm just getting older and the things change.
No, it's getting scarier.
Where can parents look for information about prevention?
On our website for sure, youthconnectionscoalition.org. We have a lot of resources. How to talk to your kids, what to talk to them about, what about substances, tons of links, resources on how to get help. We've got information now on the coalition, which I think Bethany's going to talk about.
Yeah, and more resources. We have Parenting Montana. That's always a great resource to go to if you're like, how do I start this conversation about alcohol and drugs? They have a unique system where you can click the age and it will give you prompts of different scenarios. So they are very helpful. Also, like Colleen mentioned before, SAMHSA is a very good resource, along with the National Institute on Drug Abuse. That is another good resource.
Okay, so you're all from a little bit different area, but all one area, overarching Youth Connections. So tell us what is Youth Connections?
Well, Youth Connections is a substance abuse prevention organization. So we focus on mostly underage use, trying to prevent underage use, and then also do work on adult binge drinking, because that's can affect not only just the adult, but the kids as well. And then mental health supports for kids too. So, yep, kind of overarching all of that.
Yep.
Helping kids reach their full potential.
So is there a Youth Connections Coalition still?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, there is. So we now have a CTC coordinator, and her name is Sarah Graham, and her entire job is to kind of make the coalition thriving again. So she's getting several members of the community from different sectors together. We have a bunch of key leaders, and now we're working on community members. So when we're doing events or when people like Room Pure Performance needs fundraising or needs help, we have a group we can go to. And if you want to get more involved or if you want to hear more about it, there is a tab on the Youth Connections website that you can click, and there's contact info there as well.
Okay, so is that sort of like a board or?
We have a key leader board and a community board. So the key leader boards, they'll help us with more logistics, and the community will be more volunteers. I'm here to help, I'm here to brainstorm. But we come together as a group to see, we're looking at Lewis and Clark County, what our needs we have. And so it's very county specific, community specific. We're not just talking about the whole west of America. We're talking about Helena, Montana, East Helena. What do we need?
Great. Yeah, we've been trying to promote people to join boards today. That's people say, how can I help? How can I be involved? Well, join a board. Mm-hmm. We all work together. All the nonprofits work together. So if you're on a board for somebody, you're probably involved in something somebody else is doing. It's a great way to get to know what is going on in town and how to help all around, all kinds of different services.
Absolutely.
So where should people go if they want to get involved? How do they find out what's available?
Well, the website for sure. Like Bethany mentioned, that tab that says Coalition, that would help get involved. The CTC program is Communities That Care, and it's a framework to get a coalition up and running. And so they look at the data and then they do mapping to find out what is already being done and where are the gaps and where is there overlap, and then identifying where those gaps are to put evidence-based programs in so that we can get movement on the needle to reduce kids' use overall.
How about Pure Performance? Bruin Pure Performance looking for more members, or?
Well, we're always looking for more members. It's always nice to have as many people as possible when we go to places like the Capitol to talk about just anything. Just kind of, it's nice to have people just to back you up. Also, we have a lot of members, but it's nice because if we go somewhere, we know we'll have a good people and a good amount of people that can influence the kids. Like Walk to School Day, we had a bunch of people are going and playing with the kids, and I know that was a lot of fun for both the kids and Tess. But yeah, it was nice to have a lot of people, just because you always know we'll have someone ready to go. But yeah.
Oh, it's probably good to know that somebody has your back. Like if you're making the different choice from the rest of the group and you say, I don't do that, and then the peer pressure doesn't feel so bad when somebody else has your back.
Yeah, but
The little kids love having the big kids come, so. And it's
yeah.
cool as a big kid having all the little kids run up to you and thinking that you're wonderful too. So.
And wanting to be you too in high school. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember
Great role
those
models.
days.
Exactly.
Are there any other events coming up that they should know about?
not right now, but Red Ribbon Week is a really big week for us. It's just we go to classrooms all year round. We don't have anything specific coming up, but yeah.
But if you're a parent and you're wondering if you're coming to your kid's classroom, reach
Yeah.
out, make sure
Yeah.
that you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Kids love hearing from teenagers,
Yeah.
more than adults usually.
Yeah.
That's a good,
Always.
yeah. They're way cooler than us. All right, any last words before we sign off?
I think we're good.
Yeah. Check out the website.
Yes.
There's lots of great
Yep.
information there. All right, thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helena. We'll see you again next week.